There is a woman in her late 40s who keeps a faded photo in the glove box of her old 1972 Datsun 240Z. In the picture, she is 17, standing beside the same car with a nervous smile, pretending she knew where her life was going. Every Sunday morning, before the neighborhood is fully awake, she opens the garage door, sits in the driver's seat, and rests her hands on the steering wheel. Sometimes she does not even start the engine. She just sits there, breathing in the smell of old vinyl, gasoline, dust, and memory. To someone else, it looks strange. Her neighbors think she is too attached to an old machine. Her friends tell her she should sell it before it becomes impossible to maintain. Her brother jokes that the car has become her second child. But what they do not understand is this: she is not sitting in a car. She is sitting inside a version of herself that the world has not been able to erase. And that is the first thing you need to understand about people who love classic cars. Their minds do not experience these cars as objects. They experience them as containers of identity. A modern car is designed to disappear into convenience. It starts quietly, parks itself, and tells you when something is wrong. But a classic car asks something different from you. It asks you to participate. You have to listen to it. You have to feel the vibration in the steering wheel. Every click, smell, shake, and delay means something. People who love classic cars are not just attracted to beauty. They are attracted to involvement. They want the world to make sense through touch, sound, patience, and skill. This is where their minds become different. They do not only see what something is, they see what it has survived. And most people look at an old car and notice rust, scratches, outdated parts, and inconvenience. But a classic car lover sees a story still standing. They see years of roads, hands, repairs, weather, and care. They see proof that age does not automatically mean uselessness. That is why people who love classic cars often have a different relationship with time. Modern life teaches us to treat time like an enemy. Everything must be faster, newer, smoother, and more optimized. We upgrade phones before they break. We replace things before they are truly gone. We scroll past people, songs, ideas, and memories as if everything has an expiration date. But the classic car mind quietly resists this. It says, no, some things become more meaningful because they have lasted. That is not just nostalgia. That is a philosophy. People often misunderstand nostalgia as weakness, as if it means someone is stuck in the past. But healthy nostalgia helps people connect the different chapters of their lives. When someone restores an old Mustang, Beetle, Corvette, Mercedes, or Camaro, they are not simply rebuilding metal. In a psychological sense, they are rebuilding continuity. They are saying, the person I used to be still matters. The things that shaped me still matter. For many classic car lovers, that feeling is powerful because life has changed around them faster than they expected. The streets look different. The music sounds different. Work feels different. Relationships feel different. Everything has become more digital, temporary, and distant. Then they walk into the garage and see something real. A hood they can lift with their own hands, an engine they can understand, a machine that rewards anyone patient enough to learn its language. This is why classic car lovers often have a deep need for competence. Not the kind that comes from looking successful online or owning the newest thing, but the old kind of competence, the kind where your hands know what your mind knows, the kind where you can point to something and say, I fixed that. There is a special satisfaction in repairing something most people would have thrown away. You remove a part, you clean it, you struggle, you make a mistake, you try again, and then suddenly, the engine responds, the lights turn on, the car moves, something that was silent becomes alive again. That experience gives people something modern life often fails to provide: visible progress. So much of life today is abstract. You answer emails, you attend meetings, you move files, you reply to messages, you work all day, but at the end of it, there may be nothing you can physically touch and say, this changed because of me. But when a classic car lover repairs a stubborn part, the feedback is honest. The machine either works better or it does not. The reward is real. The classic car mind is usually patient, detail-oriented, and emotionally loyal. These people are not impressed by convenience alone. They are drawn to character. They understand that flaws do not always reduce value. Sometimes flaws are what make something unforgettable. A small crack in the leather seat, a faded badge, a sound the car makes only when it is cold. To anyone else, these are imperfections. To the owner, they are personality. And this is another reason classic car lovers are different. They do not fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with presence. A new car may be flawless, but it often feels anonymous. A classic car has a face, a mood, a temper, a history. It does not just transport you, it communicates with you. That is why selling one can feel impossible. Someone outside the hobby might say, it is just a car, take the money. But the owner hears something very different. They hear, sell the summer you learned to drive. Sell the memory of your father teaching you how to change oil. Sell the first road trip where you felt free. Sell the years you spent becoming the kind of person who could keep this thing alive. That is not a simple transaction. That is asking someone to put a price on a piece of their own timeline. This is where classic cars become emotionally different from ordinary possessions. They do not just represent wealth, status, or taste. They represent personal evidence. Evidence that you cared about something long enough to keep it. Evidence that you believe old things deserve attention. Evidence that you are willing to protect beauty even when it is inconvenient. In a disposable culture, that is almost rebellious. Because the world keeps telling us to let go quickly, move on, upgrade, replace, start over. Do not get attached. Do not repair what can be bought again. But classic car lovers live by a different emotional rule. They believe that attachment is not always a weakness. Sometimes attachment is what keeps meaning alive. This also explains why classic car communities feel so loyal. On the surface, a car meet looks like people talking about engines, paint, wheels, and restoration costs. But underneath, something deeper is happening. People are recognizing each other through shared values. A teenager with a project car, a retired mechanic, a business owner, and a grandfather with an old pickup may have completely different lives. But when they stand around an open hood, the usual social barriers soften. They understand patience. They understand frustration. They understand the strange joy of finding one missing part after months of searching. They understand why someone would spend a whole weekend fixing a tiny detail nobody else will notice. That is not just a hobby group. That is belonging. People who love classic cars also tend to have a strong sensitivity to craftsmanship. They notice shape, proportion, sound, weight, and texture. They care about how something was made, not just what it can do. To them, a car is not only transportation. It is design, engineering, culture, memory, and emotion combined into one physical form. They are seeing human intention. Someone drew that line. Someone shaped that metal. Someone decided that even a machine deserved beauty. And in a world where so many things are made to be cheap, fast, and forgettable, that kind of intention feels rare. But there is also a quieter layer. Many people who love classic cars are drawn to restoration because some part of them believes in second chances. They look at a car covered in dust, sitting forgotten in a barn or driveway, and instead of seeing failure, they see possibility. They see what it could become with enough time, patience, and care. And maybe that is why the bond becomes so personal. Because on some level, we all want to believe that neglected things can still be restored. Not just cars, people, dreams, relationships, confidence, parts of ourselves we thought we had lost. A classic car gives that belief a physical form. It lets someone practice hope with their hands. This is why the moment an old engine finally starts is so emotional. It is not only the sound, it is what the sound means. It means the hours mattered, the patience mattered, the frustration mattered. The thing everyone else gave up on was not dead. It was waiting for the right person to care enough. And maybe that is the deepest reason people who love classic cars have a different kind of mind. They are able to see life where other people see decay. They are able to see value where other people see inconvenience. Anyone can love something when it is new, shiny, fast, and easy. But it takes a different kind of person to love something when it needs work. So the next time you see someone standing beside an old car, wiping the same spot on the hood for the third time, do not assume they are just obsessed with the past. Maybe they are remembering who they were. Maybe they are protecting something the modern world keeps trying to erase. Maybe they are proving to themselves that beauty does not have to be young, perfect, or convenient to be worth saving. And maybe that old car is not just a machine at all. Maybe it is a mirror. A mirror showing them that even after years of damage, silence, and neglect, something can still come back to life. If this story made you think of someone, or maybe made you think of yourself, share your thoughts in the comments. What classic car lives rent-free in your memory, and what does it mean to you? Subscribe for more videos about the hidden psychology behind the things we love, the memories we keep, and the parts of ourselves we are still learning to understand. We will see you in the next video.